So recently, I had the amazing chance to converse with a real-life female celebrity or actress who is heavily engaged in a specific industry. This wasn't merely a casual chat. We explored some genuinely thought-provoking subjects, ones I never anticipated gaining such clarity on. Throughout our exchange, she disclosed some of the most captivating insights I've ever encountered in my whole life. Insights not only about women but about the deeper intricacies of attraction, female nature, and the dynamics of how relationships operate in contemporary society. I had consistently pondered over what genuinely captivates women, how to connect with them meaningfully, and how to enhance your own dating experiences. Let's just say, this discussion completely altered my viewpoint on the topic. What was even more astonishing was how genuine and candid her opinions were on subjects that many individuals might hesitate to discuss. There were aspects she revealed about her experiences and what she's witnessed firsthand in the industry that completely transformed how I perceive attraction and how to genuinely attract more women into your life, without engaging in games, without overexerting yourself, and without adhering to the conventional rules we've been taught by society or in dating advice articles. It was raw, enlightening, and immensely valuable. In this video, I will share with you one of the most astonishing insights or lessons that she imparted to me, and I assure you, it's something that could revolutionize the way you handle relationships and your interactions with women for good. So without any further ado, let us dive into one of the most significant revelations I've ever learned and discover how it can assist you in shifting your mindset and transforming you into the kind of man women genuinely desire. With that in mind, let's get right into it. Now, one of the most astonishing things I ever discovered from this interaction is that the man who is the least influenced by women is consistently the man whom women will pursue the most. All right, I want you to take a moment to reflect on that. The reason is that if you're like most guys, if you're like the majority of men out there, the majority of men listening to this right now, you've been taught your entire life that if you merely demonstrate to women how much you care, if you just reveal how good of a guy you are, if you strive to prove yourself to women in every conceivable manner, if you make them feel exceptional, if you treat them like a princess, that they'll choose you. But if you're anything like me, you've likely noticed from personal experience on multiple occasions in your life that this is simply not how reality operates. All right. The actual physical reality we all inhabit, the real world, indeed follows a distinctly different set of rules. And you'll notice repeatedly that it's not typically the man who treats women like royalty that they desire. It's not the man who seeks to validate himself. It's the man who is the least impacted by women that women pursue the most. All right, the man who cares the least. You've witnessed it before. I'm certain that all of you have observed this in your own experiences. The man who goes above and beyond for women. The man who's perpetually available, always initiating contact, always supporting women, always attentive to their issues. That's the man who consistently gets overlooked. That's the man that women frequently disregard, that they find unattractive, that they want nothing to do with. Meanwhile, the man who couldn't care less, in some instances, the man who's actually harmful, the man who literally disrespects women, the man who doesn't pursue, the man who doesn't overthink matters, the man who doesn't exert too much effort. That's the man that women ultimately become infatuated with. But have you ever pondered why? All right, the explanation is simply that the less affected you are by women, the more they will pursue you. All right, let me clarify. The thing about women is that they don't merely desire a man. They desire a man of worth. Okay. They seek a man who has options, a man who doesn't actually depend on them. Because every woman out there, even if she is average, even if she possesses merely average physical attractiveness and isn't problematic, can likely attract 100 men for every one woman that an average man can attract. Okay. Hence, what this signifies is that women don't seek just any man. They desire a man of significant value. When you're accustomed to selecting from hundreds of different men, Thousands of different men, especially in the era of social media when you're practically born with the capacity to be pampered like this, to choose virtually any man you desire, since you have access to 95% of men out there simply due to your inherent advantages, just because you possess physical beauty. How do you think that person will respond? How do you think women will react? They will act in a manner that mirrors those options. This is why women are so discerning. Okay. They don't merely want any guy. They want a man of worth. And more specifically, they seek the most valuable man that they can realistically obtain. Okay, so the moment you start behaving like a woman becomes your primary focus, you begin sending her messages that she is extremely special, she's really pretty, and offering her various compliments, purchasing many gifts for her, spending a lot of money on her. That's when she starts losing interest in you. All right. To truly grasp this, we need to delve into evolutionary psychology. You see, for thousands of years, during the days of cavemen, men were not evaluated by their ability to impress a woman. They were evaluated based on how well they managed life. Therefore, you had individuals such as the warriors, the leaders, the risk-takers. These were the men who flourished. These were the men who attracted all the women in ancient times because women required protection and resources. They were instinctively attracted to these types of men. However, here's the twist. If you were to penetrate the thoughts of these ancient warriors, these ancient leaders, these risk-takers, the men whom women pursued in ancient times, if you could delve into their mindset and observe their thinking, these men were not preoccupied with thoughts of women all day. What they were genuinely focused on was their mission, their survival, their power. Consequently, women were never their main concern. Life and survival were their main concerns. All right. Activities like hunting, procuring food, gathering resources, accumulating resources, and similar tasks that formed their main focus. Thus, ironically, what transpired is that this is what rendered them so appealing. All right. Paradoxically, it was the men who were least influenced by women and least fixated on women who ended up attracting all the women. All right. So if you leap forward to today, these instincts continue to exist. Women are still programmed to seek out men who display strength, independence, and emotional control. In other words, women in the contemporary world seek men who remain unaffected by women. They're indifferent to a woman's beauty, they're undeterred by her mood swings, and they're unfazed by her verbal tests, and this rarity is what distinguishes them. Okay. For a woman, a man who is untouched by all these factors appears to be rare. Okay, allow me to provide you with an example from the animal world. If you observe male gorillas within a gorilla troop, there is always one dominant silverback who essentially serves as the troop's leader. Okay, if you examine how this gorilla actually conducts himself, he never seeks the females for attention. He doesn't trail the females constantly, and he's seldom ever genuinely influenced by them. He typically just remains in his area, entirely in control, completely undisturbed by all the females. And guess what? The females, as a result of this, find themselves attracted to him. They're attracted to him not because he's pursuing them, nor because he's attempting to impress them like most men would, but merely because his indifference indicates power. Okay. His capacity to remain unaffected by women signifies power. It indicates that he has choices, that he is plentiful, that he has access to women. Now, if you contrast this with the young and needy male gorillas within the same gorilla troop who exert excessive effort to impress the females, these gorillas receive no attention whatsoever. They never gain respect. They consistently get overlooked by women. Okay. And if they're fortunate, they might manage to sneak in and mate with one of the females. You know, when the dominant silverback is absent or something, or when he's out hunting or whatever. Okay. But that's the only moment they encounter any form of action. That's the only instance they experience any play. Okay. And if you relate this to the human realm, this should feel quite familiar, as human attraction fundamentally operates in a similar manner. Okay. Therefore, what this implies is that a man who is emotionally composed, a man who has mastered his emotions and his capability to act in a certain manner around women, his ability to exhibit indifference, a man who remains unresponsive to women, does not react to their beauty, their tests, and all these varying aspects of women, a man who maintains his composure and doesn't overinvest in your life. I know you've encountered them. I've had numerous experiences with them. Have you ever observed that the moment in life you stop genuinely caring, the instant you simply release control, everything starts to fall into place? Suddenly, everything works out. Okay. The very same principle applies to women. The instant you cease to care, the moment you let go during your interactions with a woman, which enables you to be indifferent, to be non-reactive, nonchalant, the moment you achieve that, all of a sudden, women begin to take more notice. Consider any instance in your life where you excelled with women, where you achieved outstanding outcomes with women, where women were showing you a lot of interest, and they were extremely attracted to you. I believe most of us have probably experienced at least one occasion in our lives where that occurred, or at least a few. And if you reflect on those instances, those scenarios, if you truly analyze it, what you'll discover is that most likely all of that transpired because you ceased to care as a result of you releasing control and becoming non-responsive. That's the reason you received so much attention. That's why you had these women pursuing you. And it's not by chance. Okay, it's not simply fate. All of this is quite fundamental psychology. Because when a man is not influenced by a woman, what it does, when a man is casual, it creates pressure. Okay, with women. And pressure is what generates attraction. So the main point here is that if you cease placing women on a pedestal, if you reach a stage where you're truly not impacted by anything, by any element of women, by their beauty, what they say, the way they act towards you, the remarks they make to you, when you're truly not impacted by any of these elements, when you're utterly indifferent to them, meaning they don't influence you mentally, emotionally, they don't impact you in a way that makes you become defensive, reactive, anxious, stuff like that. Once you reach that stage, something quite remarkable occurs. And that is the precise moment where you begin radiating this contradictory energy, where women pursue you. Women want to initiate the chase with you. The man who is entirely in command of himself, the man who is completely nonchalant around women, the man who paradoxically cares the least about women, who is the least influenced by their beauty, their emotions, or their actions. That is the man who women desire the most. It's intriguing, isn't it? In a society where we're instructed to pursue, to exert more effort, to demonstrate our worthiness, the real strength lies in not pursuing at all. It's about recognizing that attraction doesn't stem from desperation or overexertion. It arises from self-confidence, emotional stability, and the capacity to stay grounded regardless of the situation. This is the type of man women find appealing because he doesn't require validation from them to feel positive about himself. He doesn't project an aura of neediness or insecurity, but rather a calm confidence that inherently attracts those around him, particularly women. And here's the twist. When you attain this level of emotional self-sufficiency and authority, the individuals surrounding you, especially women, begin to take notice. They start to acknowledge the strength and power you possess within. Women are not seeking someone who goes out of their way for them, endlessly chasing their approval. Instead, they're on the lookout for the man who has his own life, his own ambitions, and a clear sense of purpose. Someone who isn't perpetually focused on them, but rather has other interests that occupy his time, attention, and energy. Now, take a moment to consider this. Have you ever realized that the times in your life when everything seemed to align with women, when you were receiving loads of attention and admiration, were the moments you stopped caring as much? When you were simply concentrating on your own life, your goals, and you didn't feel the urge to win anyone over. This isn't a coincidence. It's fundamental human psychology. When you cease pursuing and begin living your own existence, women naturally are drawn to you. That magnetic vibe you emit is a direct result of not being influenced by their presence, their views, or their attractiveness. And this is precisely what I gained from this actress during our discussion. It wasn't merely some shallow pickup guidance. It was authentic, practical, and grounded in a profound comprehension of human behavior and attraction. This is the mentality you ought to embrace in all your engagements with women. When you excel at this, I assure you, your life and your relationships will transform in ways you can't even envision at this moment. Aspects that were once difficult or intricate will begin to seem effortless and instinctive. And that's when you'll start to notice those significant changes in how women respond to you and the kind of relationships you draw in. So with that said, I hope you all genuinely extracted something meaningful from this. Believe me, if you can weave this lesson into your own existence, it will create a tremendous impact. Don't merely accept my testimony. Put it into practice and observe the transformation unfold. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care and continue perfecting yourself. You can do this.